So if you watched my recent video talking about this diet that we've been doing, it's a modified version of the Diet Center diet. If you didn't watch the video, go watch the video. In that video, I talked about how there are 4 phases of the diet, and I was going to break down the quote-unquote guidelines, macros, the dietary restrictions, requirements, whatever, for each phase in the What I Eat in a Day video. So I didn't want to put it all in that. That's going to make that way too long. So this video is going to be what I eat in a day on, the reduction phase of the diet. And really, every day was pretty similar, very similar. Friday nights we might, do a cheeseburger or a burger patty melt instead of a piece of chicken. We could sub fish for the chicken. We might do a steak on the weekends. But most of the time, it's very similar, and most of the meals of, the rest of the day are exactly the same, just because it was easier to buy things in bulk than have to buy a huge variety of foods. So I am going to walk you through what I ate and when, but first I'm going to walk you through the guidelines for this diet. So for protein, they want you to have 7 to 9 ounces of protein per day. For vegetables, they want you to have 3 cups of raw vegetables every day and 1 cup of cooked vegetables per day. I chose to measure this kind of with my heart. Vegetables are so low calorie. So many of the vegetables on this diet are low carb, and I like to roast vegetables, and I think they lose a lot of volume, so I chose to measure 1 cup of cooked vegetables as 1 cup after they've been cooked, and it might be closer to 1.5 cups. But I don't want to be hungry, and if you watched the overview of this diet, we've seen some success. So what we're doing is working. For fruit, during the reduction phase, they want you to have 2 cups of fruit every day. The Diet Center book tells you to have an apple or a pear every day. That's pretty easy for us to do, to have an apple every day. And then for the other fruit, we just chose berries because they're low glycemic, they're super easy, super convenient, pretty cheap, and we found some fun things that we can do with them. For grains, this is grains/carbs. This is where we really deviated from the Diet Center book, because they had, I don't know, I guess they used to have food items you could purchase from the Diet Center. I don't think you can purchase those anymore, and even if you could, I wouldn't want to. So I chose something that had similar nutrition facts to the Diet Center foods, particularly the grains that they wanted you to eat. And I chose something that I liked to eat. And for me personally, that's sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. I love bread. I feel like Oprah. I love bread. But I really love the sourdough bread from Aldi, if we can get it anymore, because for a while it's been really hard for us to find. But the Publix sourdough bread is actually pretty good too. So the idea behind grains is to just have 20 total grams of carbs per day come from grains. So we're not counting carbs in fruit or vegetables. We're not counting carbs in anything else, just the total grams of carbs from your bread, essentially. I know you could have 6 Ritz crackers for 20 grams of carbs. Personally, I would rather have a piece of sourdough toast with my eggs in the morning. And as far as oils go, you can have 2 teaspoons of cooking oils per day. They don't want you to have any butter. And then water, minimum of 64 ounces of water per day. And I know that I'm getting that easily. I've got a 40-ounce water bottle over here with me, and I fill this 2 or 3 times every day. Of course, there are rules for foods that you can't have. No dairy, no caffeine, no alcohol, and they also don't want you to have any calories after 8 p.m. And what I took this to mean was don't consume your calories after the 2-hour mark before you go to bed. I wake up early and I go to work, and then I'm done with work by 6. So I typically start consuming my calories around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. My sister works the closing shift, and she doesn't start consuming her calories until she wakes up around 11 a.m. and she's not done with work until close to 8 p.m. if not later. So it looks a little bit different from her, and that's why it's kind of what I consider intermittent fasting, because you're just consuming your calories in a certain window of time. So now that we know the guidelines, let's go through and I'll show you what I ate on this particular day of the reduction diet. And nearly every day looked almost identical to this. So at 7:30 in the morning, I would have a mug of hot water with lemon juice. This was in lieu of coffee. I did not have any coffee during the reduction phase. 8 a.m. was time for breakfast. I would do 2 eggs. I would fry them hard, and I would do my piece of sourdough bread, and I would season it with some kind of seasoning that tasted good for me. 10 a.m. was time for orange juice. You could have half of an orange. Mom has been eating grapefruit, and then it was time for me to fill my water again. And I really like these flavored drink packets because it makes it so much easier to drink a lot of water and there's hardly any calories in them. Noon, it's time for salad. So what you can't see on the bottom is 2 cups of shredded lettuce. And then on the top we have some chopped cauliflower, sugar snap peas, a hard-boiled egg, a radish, some chopped broccoli, and some shredded carrots. And on this particular day, I was having some ground beef, but we've also used shredded rotisserie chicken. For dressing, I'm using a homestyle ranch. This one is from Sam's Club, and it should be quote-unquote low calorie. I was just looking for something less than 150 calories per serving. And then, of course, you have to add salt and pepper and some seasoning to your salad and some more water. 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, it's time for our apple. I liked to slice mine and top it with some cinnamon, and it was a nice little snack. For dinner, we had some mushrooms and broccoli roasted in the oven with some chicken, and I seasoned this with some Italian garlic seasoning. Our last snack of the day was strawberries, and I love strawberries. I really do. They were so good. So that's what I ate in a day. And kind of spreading it out like that throughout the day, ending the day with a sweet note with like fruit, was really fun and pleasing, very satisfying. It was easy. I really enjoyed this diet, this phase of the diet. Currently, when I'm filming this, we are in the stabilization phase of the diet. So right now what we're eating is slightly different. So I will film another what I eat in a day video for the stabilization phase, but I wanted to get this up for you soon. So I think that's it. This one should be short, sweet, and to the point. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys in another video really soon. Bye.